I thought I'd talk to you today about the software I've been developing for the last few years. It's an audio-visual tool, allows you to do live performances like on stage alongside musicians, audio-visual performances. The whole thing's made in React, JavaScript and a library called 3JS, which some of you may have heard of. It's sort of the main open source library to do WebGL. I'm Alex, hello. You can see all my details here. I'm actually presenting the thing in the software rather than using slides. So I sort of made some slides in the software. This is why you're seeing all this GUI as well. It saves me from switching around because I'm going to actually show you how it works in a minute. Yeah, I'm a web developer with a focus on 3D on the web, but I also am part of an audio-visual act called Polyop. We're performing later on tonight in the main hall. I think we're on at 9:30. And all of the visuals you'll see there are created in Hedron and performed in Hedron Live, so you'll see that. So back to Hedron, what is it? It's an audio-visual tool that allows you to take something you might have made in 3JS using code. You can pull it into Hedron, and then you have complete control over all of the parameters that you have in that what we call a sketch. So rather than changing values in the code, you can change values with audio or MIDI or LFOs and all this extra good stuff. So I'll give you an example of it. Let me just move over. So what is this thing? This is some weird crystal thing. Hang on a minute. So I can rotate it with all these different parameters, move it around. What else can I do with it? I can change the color. Muck around with that. I mean, there's all these different parameters that you can do stuff with. And then the fun stuff, let me slow it down a little bit. The fun stuff is like playing around with this like amplitude of the vertices and mucking around. And then I can even get them to like morph. But I'm doing all this with the mouse right now, which is fine, but it's not very good when you're on stage and you're trying to do things in a performative way. So I can actually assign all these values to different things, but I like to use hardware, so I'm using this MIDI controller here. So if I just go down here and I choose an input and I go MIDI learn, and then I move one of these knobs, now I've got control over it with this knob here. So the way I'll do shows is I have a whole load of sketches all ready to go. I've mapped them all to different controls on my MIDI controllers, and then when we're performing with the musicians I work with, I can sort of, it's almost like puppetry in the sense that I can kind of move things in and out all manually. But things can react to audio as well, so it doesn't just have to be manual. So for instance, this parameter here can work quite well to sound, for instance. So if I go here and add audio to this. Now it's reacting to sound. Maybe I can play it some music. I don't know if it's going to work because we're in this little room, but well, anyway, it can react to reacts to audio as well. That's the kind of sliding parameters, but you also have things such as firing a function. You know, so like I've got another sketch in the background here that's like firing a sort of laser in the background, but I can have that automated as well, so that could be going along to the beat as well. And lastly, I kind of wanted to talk to you about the final step that I've added recently in the software. It's not actually released at the moment, because all of this is open source and anyone can download and play with this, but this version is on the dev branch if you want to play with it. You can do some post-processing stuff. So for instance, I could add a mirror effect. Everyone loves symmetry, right? That's quite nice. Then maybe some of this feedback stuff. This is the real fun stuff. So let me just play with this. Give it a second. Oh, here we go. Ooh, there we go. Nice. So yeah, you can play around. I mean, there's all sorts of things. I've got a bunch of stuff here. This is only a little selection. I've got like some nice glitch effects and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. But I mean, it's open source. It's built in React. If anyone wants to contribute, I'm looking for contributors. There's only about 3 of us at the moment working on this thing. So please come talk to me afterwards if you want to know more about it. And of course, we're performing later on in the West Hall, I think it is, at 9:30. So yeah, thanks so much. Cheers.